Thank you for joining this 34th MedEd webinar. And today's topic is development and implementation of mentoring program. And today's speaker is Dr. Ruxana Hussain Malik, who is a professor of medical education, and she has been presenting these webinars previously. So I do not need to go into the more detail for her introduction. I'll just pass over to her to start the presentation.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good day to everyone. Today we are going to talk about developing and implementing a student mentoring system. Okay, sorry. The learning outcomes of this session is that after attending this session, the participants will be able to explain the rationale of implementing our student mentoring system in the institution, discuss the roles and responsibilities of the mentees and the mentors for achieving academic and professional excellence, discuss the challenges in developing and implementing a mentoring system, and use the student tracking system to guide students for successful completion of their studies in the stipulated duration. Student mentoring system is practically that mentorship is an opportunity in which a more experienced or a knowledgeable person helps to guide a less experienced or knowledgeable person, that is, the person who has already achieved the higher level of success, to the students by sharing known resources, expertise, values, skills, attitudes, perspective, and proficiency. The process requires frequent communications. These communications can be face-to-face or online. They can be planned or unplanned. They can be short-term and long-term, formal and informal, on the need basis for a specified duration of the course. This duration of the course can be from few weeks to as long as the 5 years course for the medical, for example, or it can even extend beyond that time period. And the people, they would want to continue this mentoring with each other later on as well. The concept of mentoring actually gained popularity in 1990s for the medical students. Before that, mentoring was done at the workplace for the new employees to gain some insight and knowledge about what is happening in the workplace, and that helped them in settling at the initial phases of their career over there. From 1990s, it was thought that mentoring is a good way of putting the students at ease in the newer environment for their learning and development, advancement in career, and coping with the problems of the new place and professional and psychosocial growth of these students. The aim of the student mentoring system is to provide support for the holistic development of the mentees with respect to academic and non-academic progression. We are not supposed to give lectures to the students over there, but it is one way of helping them in their academic excellence as well as the non-academic one. For the progression, for the fulfillment of the expectations of the community of a productive, independent professional who is imbued with humanistic values. To tap into the existing knowledge, skill, and experience of senior or high-performing academic staff and transfer these skills to younger mentees to help them advance their careers. So there is something in it both for the mentors and the mentees. The mentees are gaining some new information, new knowledge, new ways of dealing with the situations, while the mentors are sharing their experiences with the budding new students. Mentoring program is a structured management initiative designed to pair the experienced individuals with less experienced ones to provide guidance, support, and knowledge transfer. It is generally modified from the program of other institutions, incorporating feedback of the mentors and mentees of their own institution. So technically, there is no problem if you take the mentoring program of number of universities and then you can make your own out of it according to the needs and the requirements of your own university or of your own college. It is based on the need analysis, which is under which so that we understand the needs of the target audience. So the target audience, who are they? The background of the mentees and the mentors is very important to know. Where are they located? Either the students are located in the campus, in the hospital, or in the community. The mentoring management will change a little bit because of these different locations. Not a little bit, actually a lot when they are located, for example, in the community or in the campus or in the hospital. What are their developmental needs, the basic or the advanced one? What are their key motivations? Learning, social activities, financial assistance, progression, communication, or meeting their KPIs is some of the benefits which are a sort of motivation for the students to do it. How often they can participate in these activities is also very important because neither too much of it and neither too little of it is beneficial for the proper implementation of the program. The development of the student mentoring system starts with the planning and the preparation, in which a lot of time is invested in designing the clear objectives, timelines, and methodologies, ensuring the alignment of the organizational goal to the participants' need. Each and every university, each and every organization has their own goals and their own uh, aims for which they are developing those students. So we have to take care of those individual requirements of the universities. So what we do is that we design the program which starts with the objectives and the format. Then we connect the groups, that is the profiling takes place and the grouping of the students takes place. Then we need to train the participants, which includes both the mentors and the mentees. The mentors who have already been doing mentorship for a long time may still benefit if they keep on participating in these things because new things come and the system it evolves all the time. Guide the process, what are the resources and what are the future directions, and how to measure the success of it by the feedback or the remedial which can be done. So we are going to go into each and every step of it to completely understand the process of the development. It will improve the students' engagement and retention. That is good for the university because many students they leave the course because they are not able to adjust into the newer environment. Boost the confidence and the job placement rates for the younger mentors, and increase the alumni engagement by tapping the alumni mentors. It is very important that the alumni which have left the university but still are in contact with the university or living somewhere near should also be involved in this mentoring system. And most of that time they do that job free of cost. So the first part is to design the program, which starts with the objectives, provide direction to the mentees by focusing on specific needs. It facilitates the mentees in the academic pursuit and to cope with the difficulties by developing cordial relationship with the different mentees which are in the group. Creates an environment of mutual trust encourages interaction and diffuse the peer pressure, which is very, very problematic especially during the initial stages of the medical course. Help to handle social issues effectively, provides emotional stability and help to decrease psychosocial issues affecting the academic progress of the mentees, develop professionalism and personal growth, and increase the interest in clinical specialties and research, and to provide the career counseling to the students who are leaving the university to enter into the practical life. The format provides structure to the workflow template to reach required goals with flexibility for the participants. It can be a one-on-one mentoring. An established mentor guides an early stage mentee along with career path with psychosocial support. It can be formal or informal, predefined time limit or last for years. Pre-assigned pairing or self-selected by the mentees can take place. Sometimes the mentees have the privilege of selecting their mentors, but most of the time, if the number of students is too many and the number of mentors are limited, then the university practically makes these selections. But if the students have the privilege of selecting, then it should be good for the students because probably they know each other before as well. Distant or face-to-face issues faced and evaluated by mentor-mentee feedback. The types of this mentoring can be this one-to-one mentoring can be a diet where one of the person is mentor and the other is mentee. So there are only two people involved in that one, a mentor and a mentee. This is usually done, for example, when the students are doing some sort of a research, that is one-to-one communication, or when the students have completed their course towards the end, they are going to present some thesis or some dissertation or things like that at that stage of the discussion. The triad is a group of three where there is a mentor with two mentees or a mentee with two mentors. These two situations have is associated with development of a different type of relationships, but still it is one-to-one and provides career and psychosocial support. Now, if you look at the triad, when there are two mentees and a one mentor, these form a group. And in this group, the mentor can communicate with both the mentees and the mentees are in contact with each other as well. So it's like a small group mentoring condition in which only two mentees are there. While if there is only one mentee and there are two mentors, then that means that those two mentors have their different assigned job. A person, for example, might be guiding the student in research, and another one will be guiding the mentee with academic excellence. And in that case, the two mentors, they never meet each other because they are doing a different sort of a job, while the mentee will be meeting both the mentors at a specified time and with the specified agendas. The group mentoring also can involve a number of students, which is structured and timetabled. Most of the time in the medical schools, it is done once every week, which is formal and has to be documented. That documentation is very, very important for the legal perspective later on. We'll talk about it in the course of time. There can be 2 to 10 mentees for each mentor, depending upon the strength of the students as well as the strength of the mentors in the institute. It can be distant or face-to-face interactive discussion based, or when the students will discuss common issues, diverse ideas, and team building. Effective way of upskilling groups, retaining knowledge and fostering a culture of knowledge here, and is evaluated by survey or feedback forms. The multiple mentoring is for the graduate students. It is derived from science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medical. These are the fields which use this type of multiple mentoring. It can be collective when there are two mentors and three mentees working as a group. So in this group, you will see that the mentors are communicating with each other and mentors are communicating with all the mentees as well. and all the mentees are also communicating with each other. So this is a one group in which instead of having one mentor, there are two mentors sitting with the three mentees, and all of them are openly discussing everything. The next one is the network mentoring, in which there are two mentors. One of them is senior and the other is the junior staff. The senior will provide more information, will be more involved, while the junior one will be more in the learning stage of it. There are two mentor modes to group of peers, in which one of those peer group will be more active than the other ones. And there are two resource modules, which is the people who are going to help with the networking and with the gadgets and with the new technologies, etc. So this type of network is usually required when the students are doing a lot of research, and the group is big and they are going to manage all those things. The group mentoring also can be in the form of constellations. Constellation mentees have meaningful relationship with peers, staff, and faculty. So they have the upward mentors, which are seniors to them, and the downward mentors when they are mentoring the junior ones, which is called as the reverse mentoring. And they have external peers, which are not from the university, and they're coming from outside, and the internal peer mentees are one of your colleagues in the faculty. So practically in this one, the students are getting help from multiple sources. For example, the students who are in the clinical years will get the mentors from the hospital as well, and from the lot of information and lot of guidance from the university staff as well. So practically this is the constellation of mentorship which takes place. Then is the mosaic mentorship, which is all the different types of mentoring, which is individual mentoring, group mentoring, formal, informal, peer-to-peer, self-mentoring, and reverse mentoring. All of them are used uh, as the need arises of it. And so the students are exposed to number of different methods of being getting information and being guided by the senior staff of the university. The new form is the virtual mentoring. Thanks to COVID, this is something which is new and beneficial for the students that came up. Many different type of mentorings can be run remotely using a variety of apps and the softwares for virtual communication over a phone or video call or computer, helping to include people from different places and cities who cannot travel, supporting remote teams, creating community along with tackling the stress and isolation in the community. The benefits of this is that it is unrestricted to locations. It gives more opportunity to develop contacts, exposure to multiple mentors as they can join multiple groups for the mentoring. It is time efficient and easier to schedule. Less social and behavioral pressure helps to focus on issues because and you're joining, so you're not very tense how you look and how you are going to organize all that, because you are remote. You can be hidden over there somewhere and still be a member of the group. Diversity and inclusion, people from remote diverse area can join, and easy to organize because you just need a link or a method of bringing that group together using different connecting links which are available to the links. Mentoring by online faculties is different, and it has its own pros and cons. The pros are that the faculty mentoring and encouragement enhances scholarly experience, the opportunity to cement professional relationship between mentee and faculty, and the mentees involved with the faculty mentor have a greater skill in making decisions, setting goals, and are happier in having the faculty. The cons are that the lack of direct communication with faculty makes mentees feel disconnected, finding it hard to stay motivated. This leads to difficulty to engage and motivate undergraduates in the online environment due to the learning platforms and lack of in-person contact. Lack of persistence and dropout has found to be higher, increased, it's more in the online environment than in the traditional face-to-face university environment, in which the students know their mentors and they are sitting with them and they can discuss the things more openly in a real environment. And understanding the connection between persistence and support for students in the online environment is very, very critical if you have to continue with the online faculty involvement and the students being in the remote. The peer mentoring is also one way of mentoring in which the mentors are practically the students of the same class or different parts of the university. The relationship between people at the same career or age in which one person has more experience and can provide support with knowledge and skill transfer. And it is one-to-one relationship, or it can also occur in a group form. The forms of peer mentoring can be a senior university students mentor junior student of different faculties of professional and say personal development. A senior medical student mentors their juniors. Year 5 students mentoring the year 1 and 2 students is one way of doing it. Academically excelling student mentor academically struggling class fellows. So the mentoring has become more organized, and in this the faculty gets involved and they organize that they find those people who are struggling and they pair them up with the students who are excelling, and then the students themselves come out with the way of how these things can be done, how they are going to organize. So medical students mentor schools or college pupils who are applying for higher education. For example, the BMS students or the foundation students, which are the students of the university, but they are much, much younger, but they want to be to do the medicine as a course or whatever course they're intended to. And the mentorship is provided by the students of that um, faculty. Benefits of peer mentoring is that bridges the gap between the more learned and the students. For example, if the mentoring is done by the medical officers and the students will be the mentees, discuss an aspect of the curriculum such as a clinical or procedure skills, share notes and difficult topics. They become more involved academically, provide tips for effective learning, help mentees to uncover the hidden curriculum, which is very important, exchange ways on access of resources, navigate aspects which are not formally covered in the curriculum, because when they enter into the practical life, the mentors know what things they have not learned. So they try to teach or tell the students about those. Collaborative working environment ensures better communication and understanding difficult concepts, improves the reasoning and the communication skills, enhance the cultural and religious awareness, because in there are countries which are multicultural, multi-religious, and it is a very important aspect of bringing the students together from different cultures and different religious backgrounds to work together. Subsequent increase in knowledge, skills, and confidence enhances their scores and future interests. There is one example given over here. This is the program which was done in the University Science Malaysia. This is one of the uh, big universities of Malaysia. They had this program called as the Big Sips. Big siblings, big siblings become big sips program in the peer group mentoring to strengthen training in soft skills and professional development. So practically they are not teaching them for the academic aspect of it, but more like the rounding up of the student as a all round. The big sips are selected depending upon their academic and extracurricular achievements. The program activities focus on developing positive attitudes, racial integration, and soft skills. The two big SIPs handle the group of first-year students and will carry out 6 modules with their group. What were the modules are about? The modules include indoor games, a workshop on the selected topic, village trekking or treasure hunt, public speaking, and a picnic, visit, or an outing to some place. So these are how these things can be arranged, how these things can be done, how these things can help in benefiting the students. All these things make the part and parcel of the activity, and the way how it will be done will depend on the ideas and creativity of each mentor itself. Peer mentoring by peer learning is another way in which the good students of the class are going to technically teach the struggling students, uh, either by providing them with the lectures or asking them to come and join their group of study, and they become the integral part of their group studies. Learning with and from each other plays various roles, and the forms it takes are very diverse, but without it, students gain poor education. That is a statement which is very strong, which means that learning from each other is a very, very good way of learning. And if that is missing in the student's life, probably they will suffer because of that situation. Opportunity to discuss subject content covered in teaching learning activities or to improve information through discussion is the one advantage of it. Academically good mentors are selected by the faculty and the struggling mentees are assigned to them. Mentors and mentees plan their own methods and schedules of how this will be done. The faculty doesn't play big role into it. The mentors provide report of their activities and any issues to the coordinator. That is the mentor-mentee coordinator will be informed if they are having any problem in developing the system. The viability of the program is assessed based on both mentor and mentee reports and their feedbacks. Profiling of mentor and mentee is the next agenda to connect the groups. So how does the profiling is done? It helps in matching the compatibility of the mentor-mentee pair. When the mentor-mentees are paired, you have to look at different things. For example, the skills of the person, the experience, the personality, and goals of both the parties to foster active relationship using smart algorithms. So these algorithms, they are programs. Actually, the computer programs that can provide all these information, and they can make the students go into different groups according to their say background, whether they are city dwellers or the rural dwellers, their previous education level, what they have been doing, whether they are males and females, what type of previous education they have. There are a number of things which are judged with, through which this pairing can take place. Students' perspective of a great mentor is that he's a good listener, is honest, is open-minded, and is available. So the students generally look for only these four, uh, what you say, the specialities or the strengths of the mentor. That he is good listener, listens to goals and challenges attentively, is honest, provides good feedback, which is the real one, is open mind, takes the new ideas and thoughts from the mentor and the mentees and appreciate them, and is available. He is willing to give his time and support to do this work. They also, and they want them in their soft skills. They want them to be empathetic, good communicator, and communicator. The grouping of the mentors and mentees, random selection from a specific pool can be done. Mentees can choose their mentors via mentor database. Online matching validation process, such as an electronic data processing, supports matching procedures. Mentors may have one or multiple mentees. Sometimes two mentors are assigned to a group of mentees. So there are different types of pairings or the grouping which can be done. A mentor's perspective of a great mentee is that is driven by ambition to succeed. So they don't like the students who are lackluster type, who are laid back type. They want to bring them, they have to bring them to the main goals. Hardworking and commits extra effort and time to excel. Time management skills are there in those students, or they need to develop it. positive attitude towards feedback. They listen and they don't take it too personally, and they see it as an opportunity to improve themselves. Respect the experience, wisdom, and authority of the mentor. Open to learning new ideas and methods. Listen attentively and communicate clearly. And take initiatives without grumbling. Uh, Nurturing the mentees. How do we nurture the mentees? The academic wise examination, the students with the learning difficulties, the confidence of the students, the motivation, the study skills, and time management are some things which the mentors have to work on. Professional mutual trust, workplace adjustment, or time duties, dealing with attitude, behavior, and ethics is for the professional development. Personal development is psychosocial support related to financial issues, social issues, interpersonal relationships, peer pressure, developing life skills, management skills, self-awareness, lack of recreation, psychological pressure and stress, a lot of things in the personal life of the students, especially in the early phase and then in the early phase of the clinical years, is something for which the mentees need to be nurtured. The professional network, the leadership and communication skills are very important to enhance these in the students' interest in research, choice of career path, and advice in writing curriculum references and interview techniques are the added benefits. For administrative, what are the systems working in the hospitals, how they manage, how they work, their locations, and the rules and regulations of the university, of the faculty, of the hospitals, how to behave over there when you go to the hospital, then deal with another community which is helping you in your professional growth. So all these things need to be briefed to the students when they go for these different adventures. In the guide process, we have the resources. So we should be aware of the process of implementation, the resources available. The legal issues concerned with the mentoring are sometimes becomes quite headache. The legal coverage and future planning for the program. Legal issues normally arise when the students they claim, for example, that they didn't get proper information. They didn't know when the specific activity was taking place. They were not guided properly, and they can come up with a number of reasons in which they don't like the mentors or they don't like the system how it is working. So it can become a bit messier later. The resources is how you get the things from the leadership. Their support to ensure provision of resources and endorsement of programs legitimacy, fostering a culture of learning and development. The funding of programs, how they will be funded from the range of resources, including the host university and all the third parties. Sometimes the other people or other organizations help in the funding of the program. So they should be aware of that, and that should be properly documented for the future. The future directions, tracking the progress and measuring the outcome, establish mechanism to track the achievements of the students to gather the feedback and measure the impact of mentoring on mentees, development and organization goal for accountability. It is very important that we are able to answer the questions when the accreditation process takes place, that how this system is working and how beneficial it is and how it is being managed legally and in the form of documents. Then the training of the participants is the next stop. The mentor's profile, the background, whether they are residents, academic staff, preclinical, clinical, medical officers, specialists, senior students, peers. We have to train all of them because they are from different backgrounds, and they need some sort of information to gel with the mentoring system of the university. The recruitment can be voluntary or involuntary. If they are voluntary, that is a goodwill gesture. If they are involuntary and they have been asked to, then probably they need some sort of remuneration or the benefits. The experience, the young doctors relate well with the more up-to-date information. So usually the young people are good in telling about the technology part of the mentoring, while the senior doctors will be more able to share their experience and provide more time to the mentees. The service recognition, either they are paid or they call, or will the mentoring will be a one part which will be looked in their annual appraisal forms as the qualification for promotion or receive token of appreciation or the inner satisfaction of the mentors. The mentees profile, the basic qualification, the CGPA, and the institute of the study is very important for us to know so that we know the background of the students and how we can help. Recruitment in program, whether it is compulsory or optional, it depends. Interest in program is opportunity to learn or to develop relationship or creating connection, the collaboration, etc., etc. These are all factors which can be individualized or it can be delivered as a group. The training of the participants, both mentor and mentees, interactive programs for mentees during induction week, for example, were conducted. Introduction to the students, mentoring system is given to the students during this week. The meeting, the mentor session for ice breaking takes place over here. Introduction of the group members, introduction of the mentor-mentee record book, what the book is all about and how it will be used. That information is provided to the students, clearing the concepts and expectations of the program, what the students think that they will get. For example, the mentors are going to give them the lectures, and you have to tell them from the very beginning that lecture is, they will be giving the lecture as the lecturers, but not as the mentor. Setting up of the ground rules will be done and it will be circulated later by them. Program for the mentors in the induction session with new potential mentors will be getting some help from the senior ones. Workshop on how to conduct mentor-mentee sessions is a mock session is conducted for that. Discussion on the do's and don'ts during the activity. The do's and don'ts practically varies from institute to institute, from culture to culture, and from the background of the universities and what are their main objectives and what are their main goals. So there is no fixed list of do's and don'ts during this activity. Something which is quite easily be done in one university may cause a problem when it is done with another background university, for example. They're religiously more strict, they're socially more strict, the cultural sensitivities they come in and other things that may pop in. Discuss limitation of the mentor-mentee relationship. Open discussion about expectation of all the stakeholders is important too. The feedback and actions. Feedback is gathered to ensure the effectiveness of the program. Listen attentively to the criticism, evaluations without interrupting, arguing, or rejecting the viewpoints. Goes both for the mentors and the mentees. Follow up your feedback for mentees progression. When you have given some feedback to the students, then follow whether whatever you have guided them to do, whether they are doing it or not. Because sometimes that we give them a task but forget all about it. So our lack of interest reflects back on the mentees, and then we lose interest in this system. Use feedback forms or software for gathering, analyzing, and implementing feedbacks for proper recording. Actions provide encouragement to mentees by recognizing and appreciating their success. Build trust for sustained motivation, engagement, and ultimately optimal performance. Help in mentees' growth by providing continuous feedback to their queries. So we should be very proactive as the mentors in guiding the mentees, and the mentees should be also proactive in asking questions, in getting clarification, in understanding the field system and benefiting. The next is the implementation of the student mentoring system. We have started with the compilation, setting the program, matching the mentors, mentees, setting rules and regulations. The initiation is with the ice breaking, trust building, setting agendas, and deciding the personal commitments. Then growth and maintenance of the mentoring comes. Relationship matures, both become comfortable and they start trusting each other. And when they start trusting each other, you will get to know more intimate, more personal stories from the mentees who would need guidance on those aspects. So be prepared for that. There are few things in which probably you will not be able to give them a clear guidance, but then you can send them to the different counselors for that purpose. Start sharing personal information and in this stage. Then there will be a decline in distillation. Requirement of mentoring is on need basis only. When the students have matured, they've understood the whole system of operation of the university. So probably they would not ask for too much of a mentoring. Relationship ends formally towards the end of the specified duration. For example, if the duration was for one year, it will end 1 year, and then the new mentoring will start, or there will be no mentoring. It depends upon the university's requirement. And redefinitions, complete closure will take place. Continuing of the relationship outside the program sometimes continues for a very, very long time. Okay, so there is one mentor for say about 2 to 10 mentees. Sometimes the number increases, which is too much because more than 10 practically is a burden for the mentors because mentors are also involved in the teaching part, in their own research and in their own KPIs and all that. So more than 10 practically the mentors start complaining. Mentors meet the mentees as a group for discussion of the journal issues. This is scheduled, it is timetabled, so they have to make themselves available for this session. And if for any reason, any specific reason, they have to inform their mentees beforehand, and then they have to inform the faculty as well, the mentor-mentee coordinator, that he or she was not able to do this session, and he will do it in a later date after a few days or something like that. Mentors meet the mentees with academic and personal problems on one-to-one basis. This is also one way of doing it in which they, after going through this group session, the mentees usually come to you when they want to discuss something which is more personal and they don't want to discuss it in the group. So they will ask you, can I see you after this? And then you have to give them another appointment the same day, the same time, or sometimes later on, depending upon how much time of the mentor-mentee session has been consumed by the session itself. Usually it's a very long time. More than 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours are given for this session. So sometimes the mentor-mentee session finishes earlier, but the personal issues, they can be discussed at that. Okay, so what are the support channels for the mentor-mentee support system? The deans and the deputy deans, academics and the student affairs are involved in it. The module coordinators are involved in it. The special experts are involved in it. The peers and the alumni can be involved in it. The subject experts, they also become the part of the mentor-mentee system in one phase, and the phase coordinator. These are the different people who play their roles in the smooth running of the mentoring system in a unit. Okay, so what happens is that you have a mentor-mentee system coordinator and the mentors. This is one whole group. This group communicates with the module coordinator for attendance and punctuality of the students, get the report from them, the academic weaknesses during the module, and the result transcripts are given to the module coordinators in our universities, in our experience. When the result is given to the students by the mentor, so that they, first of all, they come and meet the mentor. For those students who are not very good in attending those mentor-mentee sessions, and to tell them and discuss with them their progress. The module coordinator can they can talk with the phase coordinator, or the mentor mentee coordinator can straight away go to the phase coordinator to discuss overall academic performance of the students, attitude and behavior problems, and the social and financial adjustments which are required and for which the students are struggling. The phase coordinator then will communicate with the deputy dean academics for chronic attitude problems, recurring attitude problems, for which now something has to be done with the student. The behavioral misconduct of the students, student have stolen something or issues like that, or there have been some mishap between the two students, so some fights, some anything which can go wrong, or the persistent poor academic performance of the students for which the deputy in academics is being involved. So practically, you will see that from the SMS coordinator and the mentors, the whole lot of the faculty is involved in one way or another at one stage or another. The SMS coordinator will also communicate with the university counselor for the personal problem, the social problems, and the psychiatric problems. Will inform the peers for the study guidance, time management, adjustment problems, and social issues. He might go and talk to the peers, the class per se, because if there's a lot of drift going on in between the class or the group, then the SMS coordinator interferes over there. The special experts for psychological problems, psychiatric problem, and other issues. For that, or for the medical issues, the students are guided towards the available facilities for the students to overcome this problem. And the subject experts are involved as a resource guidance, study guidance, and special classes. Sometimes the students won't have to have some special classes because they are not able to understand a specific topic which has been delivered. And the number of students is so much that a new class is required to be taken. So that is also arranged with the timetable. The mentor-mentee system is run by the mentor-mentee system committee. The goals and objectives of the committees are prepared and accepted by the university. The mentor training and preparation takes place. The mentor roles and responsibilities are informed to the mentors. The mentees' responsibilities are informed to the mentees during that induction session. Mentors and mentees grouping, uh, if not done so far, will be done at this stage. Preparing the mentor-mentee record book is very important document in which you have some specific information of the students, and this mentor-mentee record book stays with the mentor uh, for as long as they are mentoring that specific students. We have some problem with this thing. I'll discuss them later on what happens to these mentor-mentee record books. Uh, Designing the formal activities for mentees related to career, academic development, research, soft skills development, professionalism, ethics. These are done there in the current university practically. They do a lot of social work. And the students are taken out to do some community work over there as well. And sometimes the students are taken out for recreational activities, bowling and eating outside and something like that. The issue is that all these things have to be organized by the mentor themselves, and they have to find the different resources to do those activities. Monitoring of program activities and its evaluation is done. The funding for program activities, as I've already told you, is generally by the mentor themselves as a goodwill gesture. Until unless there is something for which you need the university permission, if that is required, then the university might fund it. Rewards for mentors and mentees is also important because in that case you are promoting uh, the relationship and the and the interest in these activities. Okay. Mentor-mentee coordinator organizes the program. Sorry, this slide has gone upside down. The mentor-mentee committee will foresee all the activities which are done. Committee decides planning the plans relating to profiling the group of the mentees, appointment of the mentors for each group, organizing the mentors of mentoring of students during clinical rotation and community posting, which is a difficult thing to do because the students are usually outstationed or they are located in the hospital. They stay the whole day in the hospital. So transporting them from one place to another becomes a bit of a headache. Provision of result of all the examination to concerned mentors for discussion with their mentees, coordinating extra learning activities for students. If the students demand an extra class from a lecturer, then the mentors are going to talk to the mentor-mentee coordinator, and he or she will talk to the lecturer to please spare some time and give the session again, and all those things have to be arranged. Arrangement of the venue and the arrangement of the transport, if it is required, all that has to be done. Solving and or informing all issues concerning students' life in the campus to concerned authorities or affiliated resources. It is very important that if the students are undergoing some sort of a problem, the authorities are informed of these things happening, because if you don't inform them, and sometimes, God forbid, something wrong happens, then practically it becomes a big medical legal sort of a situation. Mentoring program targets for medical students in all years, particularly in the universities where we have worked. It was for all the years, with different level of intensity, being more intense in the year 1 and 2, becoming lesser in year 3, but still for the clinical year, the maximum is then in year 3. And then year 4 and 5, when the students are out of campus most of the time, it has to be organized um, on the on the preferences of the students. Specific stage of training, such as preclinical and clinical, we have to take care of clinical support to students during certain specialty rotations. Is another target for the mentors and the training specialists. One particular year, in order to provide students with skills that they need in the near future, like in the final year, students being trained in the role of a junior doctor. So some special sort of mentoring is done. In fact, some modules are organized for the students too. Students with academic difficulties, only like those who are struggling in the preclinical years, some on top of their one mentor, another mentor is assigned to help them in that specific difficulty. Students picked as high achievers are given extra grooming, for example, for getting distinction, or all those things. They are doing a little bit more, and they're doing some extra classes and extra tutorials. Students from underprivileged strata again are given some special support to help them adjust with the newer environment and newer demands. The special students in which additional mentoring is done is when the students who failed fourth semester examination, students who have failed professional examination, repeat students who are repeating the class will be mentored again. Students with psychosocial and psychiatric issues have this special situation and they need some more support. And students with attitude and behavioral problems are the few of the situations in which, other than the normal mentoring, they are provided with a special mentoring for each of them. Special mentoring. This is one program which was conducted in MSU by Prof. Malik himself. The situation was that the number of students who failed the final professional examination were a bit overwhelming. So a 6 weeks academic remediation program was done for the students who are repairing the final professional examination. That is the supplementary examination. Poor performance are not a homogeneous group. It was thought and effective remediation required individualized approach. And all the students were interviewed individually by a medical educationist, that's Prof. Malik himself, and a psychiatrist to identify the cause of poor performance, their academic weakness, time management, lone learner, financial or emotional family problem. So practically the things were worked out at this stage to know where the deficiency lies, where the problem lies. And then it was head on tackled. A mentor was assigned for weekly scheduled meeting. We assist to get access to any facilities or counselor. Check if identified learning issues are addressed. A short reflection of the weekly activities were given by those students, and those issues that they have raised or the shortcomings they have raised, they were discussed and uh, tried to be removed for the students so that they can concentrate on their preparation for that final profession supplementary exam. The roles and responsibilities of the mentor, I think we have discussed a lot of them in the activity on the WhatsApp group. As an advisor, establish realistic and attainable expectations, listen actively and to the career concerns, provide personal insights, guide based on past experiences, learning climate, and then should be set and encourage risk taking by students so that they can be more proactive in the pursuit of their goals. As a teacher, helping goal setting and time management, give encouragement and support by listening patiently, discussing it openly, giving the pat on the back for the good performance. That is very simple thing to do, but I think we need to encourage it more deeply. Encourage independent learning and research and inculcate humanistic values and personal skills. As a counselor, schedule uninterrupted time for meeting, establish climate of open interaction. Career counseling with confidentiality and trust is done at this stage. Provide positive feedback to change and reinforce the content. As a facilitator, offer guide, advice and guidance, supporting critical reflection, monitor academic and clinical skills performances of the students, get the feedback about that, suggest solutions to problems and direct to resources. Commit time and energy for face-to-face, online chats, Google Hangouts. There are different ways in which even the students have the phone numbers of their mentors, WhatsApp groups, and they can communicate with them personally. The which is that the time on which they're communicating with the mentors is practically scheduled by the mentor himself, depending on his availability. As a guide to appropriate strategies, you can tell them about the academic development, encourage two-way exchange of information and share stories, your personal stories, including the mistakes which you have made and how you overcome them. That will be a good learning experience. And as a role model, exhibit high standard of solid work ethics, professionalism, and positive attitudes. Provide balanced support and challenge to the students to grow in the professional behavior. Encourage viewing of issues from different perspective and link the mentees to other supports or other mentors if they need that type of the responsibilities of the mentees, on the other hand, to create a vibrant relationship which includes collaboration and confidentiality. The students should, the mentees should meet their mentors with open heart, open mind, uh, uh, be open to the mentors and discuss their problems before they grow out of control. Set goals which are realistic and achievable. Discuss any academic or personal problem that might affect academic performance. Take advantage of educational and social learning opportunities which are offered by the mentors. Share ideas. prepare daily timetable, which is very important that the students should develop timetables and the mentors should encourage the students to develop their daily routines to help in their time management, because most of the time the students they were too sleepy, they were not able to go to perform this activity because they don't have any time and things like that. So practically, the time management is a very important component of good achievement. Meet regularly with the mentor to discuss any problem affecting the academic profile. Meet the mentors after the progress test or end semester examination. This is a very good activity, partly forced because after this test, the result is not given to the students, the result is given to the mentor. And it is not put on the student notice board as well. So practically, the students do have to come to the mentor to discuss their performance and the mentor is able to guide them in their deficiencies. Mind you, in Malaysia, the result details are not given to the students. The result papers are not shown to the person, to the students until and unless they ask for it. And for that, they have to pay some amount. So it's not an easy thing to do. Okay. The responsibilities of the mentoring guard extracurricular activities, strike a balance between these activities, take the initiative to ask for feedback, exhibit good attitude and behavior, and discuss feedback and population development. Record concern and discussion points. So, two, what in the mental mentee guidebook, if you look at this sheet, it has a visit number, the date, the current module in which the student is, if any result is being shown to him or her at this stage, yes or no. The mentee's concern, the mentee will write the whole mind, put his mind out over there and tell what is his concern or her concern. And then the mentor, what he or she has advised to the mentee will be given, it will be written over there. And then they have to follow it up to see whether the mentee has listened to the mentor or he needs or she needs some other way of uh, putting the wrong things. So in summary, the mentees share information on ground rules, expectations via emails, lecturers, or as a paper handout. Mentor-mentee record books are provided to mentors. Mentees take notes of issues discussed and suggestions provided. Mentor writes their comments and their thoughts and suggestions. Fixed slots in the timetable are given for the mentor-mentee each week. Or if you have missed it, then we have to arrange the meeting with some other time. Mentors are allowed and encouraged to take all mentees out of campus for social activities. Uh, Practically no special permission is taken from the guardians or the parents, because the students in the university are thought to be the adult students. But if some parents stop their kids from not kids, they're the adults now, well, stop their children in going out with for some activity, then probably they should come and see the internet coordinator. Arrange for community surveys and visit to industries. Mentors coordinate with each other to discuss any issues in the implementation of the mentor-mentee system. The communication between all the concerned people in the faculty and is an ongoing thing, and these things are happening as a proper meeting, scheduled meeting, or as a say, the tea room on a cup of tea. Training workshop of the mentors is done on a regular basis uh, after every few months. Implementation and evaluation. Short-term evaluation assess the short-term impact at the end of the program within a week. More frequent evaluations have to take advances in the design and delivery of the system. Qualitative and quantitative evaluation can be done by the surveys, by the pre and post evaluation and randomized studies, focus groups, semi-structured interviews, statistical tests are used if you want to go very serious about it. Pre and post telephonic interviews and web-based survey tools can be used. Okay, now we come to the challenges in the mentoring system. The foremost challenge is the mental issue. The issue is that there are not enough staff members, too many mentees per mentor, and that makes the whole program a bit too burdensome for the mentors, because they have to prepare for their lectures as well and for their research also, and to meet the KPIs and the clinical work. So they have so many other things to do. The mentors are too busy in all those things, or they have the research and the postgraduate students as well, to whom they are mentoring and helping, or the mentors are located at a distant campuses and they are not able to move from one place to another that easily. The concern is that there will be reduced effectiveness of the mentoring process. The time constrained by both mentors and mentees will hinder these sort of activities, and the extra expenses will be spent by the mentors for traveling. Options will be that you can have the distance or online mentoring sessions in that case, and there should be the flexibility in choosing the question mark, because sometimes it's not possible. Then the second is very important and very common problem is the ghost mentors. The issues is the mentors have left the faculty without informing the work faculty, without informing the coordinator, and the mentors are left, and the mentees are left alone, or the mentor is engaged in further studies, he has gone for his studies and he hasn't informed the university, the faculty, or the mentor is not serious in mentoring, and is not appearing and is not coming. So these are all the ghost mentors. Concern will be the loss if the mentor has left without information, means they are going to lose the mentee record book. The student will be without a mentor, and there will be no channel for information about mentees, that what are they doing and where they are. Option will be the mentor-mentee coordinator be informed by the administration. The faculty should inform the mentor-mentee coordinator that some of their staff members have left the URL, so that the alternate arrangement can be made by the being said is very simple, but practically it is very difficult to organize this type of interaction between the administration and the mentor-mentee coordinator. Mentors submit the record book back to the medical education unit after the session they have done. They will collect the record books from the students with the comments into it, and they will pass it to the mentor-mentee medical education unit, for example. The mentoring record is kept at a specified place, so the mentoring record books don't leave that place, and the mentors have to come to that space to do the mentoring. This is one option, but then it will be too crowded because there will be too many groups doing this activity, and probably it will lose a bit of its individuality. The specified area for mentor-mentee meetings can be assigned, for example, the student center, if it is required. Okay. The art sorry, some sorry. The art of mentoring issues are not comfortable in mentoring, fear of going wrong. So the mentors are not very comfortable in that, not motivated enough or they're not skillful enough in this role, lazy of documenting the mentor. So they don't write anything over there. So that becomes a big issue. But you are seeing the mentees, but there is no record of it. So God forbid if something happens, then this becomes a big issue. Concern will be the mentoring process will be ineffective. There will be break in the line of information about mentees issue, and we will have the lost mentees. You don't know where they are. Options will be that make mentoring optional for those who are very, very involved in other activities, might not be given the mentoring job. Again, it's a question mark whether they will faculty afford it or not. Conduct staff training workshops and seminars regularly to motivate them. Discussion forums with eminent lecturers to share their experiences and learn how this can be used for mentoring purposes. And meeting of mentors to share ideas. So that there should be one meeting of our mentors after 2 3 months to share their ideas of how they are doing and what approach they have used, and in that case, what is the result of that, so that the other people can learn. Limitation and boundaries, the issues, do's and don'ts, what to discuss. Too few, too many social activities. Sometimes there are too many social activities in the program, and sometimes there are too few of them. So practically, if the social activities breaks the barrier of being meeting a lecturer or something like that, and the mentors and the students, they become more friendlier. It's very important to have it. The ethical concerns, unclear rules and regulations. Concern will be the legal coverage, clear line of actions, and the developing informal yet professional relationship with the students. Options will be official letter of appointment should be given to the mentors. The role and responsibility of the mentor should be specified. The terms of preference and rules for mentoring are approved by the faculty university as a legal document, and the mentee surveys are done on the regular basis to get the tick. Then the students' limitation and boundaries. Issues, low motivation, they say they feel sleepy, they cannot manage the time, too much to cope, they have poor memory, we are not confident enough, we don't understand what the lecturers are saying, they come from the different country and they speak English in different accents, etc. The concern again will be the lost mentees, they will be there but not there. They can be seen, but mentally they are not present over there. Options will be to give the students biodata. Select the students' biodata, their entrance data, personal information, psychosocial background should be provided to the mentors. Clear understanding of the mentoring goals should be informed to the students. Detailed information of various components of the semester exam, the progress test for feedback discussion should be provided to them. And the learning styles and the personality test information can be used to help the students in, for them to help the students in proper learning of the mentors. The rewards of student mentoring system for mentees will be will get career counseling, they will develop professionalism, they will develop increased interest in research, and they will support in their personal growth. Academic mentoring will enhance their academic performance, research productivity, career planning, and overall satisfaction, and empowered to be the role model for others and professionals. Provision of to take responsibility, follow through progress, accept criticism, and assess the benefits of mentoring, and open to feedback and willing to take the time to reflect on the progress. So there are a lot of good things which good habits which will be inculcated in the mentees if they take this thing seriously for their excellence in their academics. For mentors, help build self-esteem, gain experience in leadership and communication, enhance professional networking opportunities, enhance contact with latest development in which the students will be telling them what are the new things which are coming in, say, for the communication things and gadgets, etc. Keep visible and relevant for future decision making, provide fulfillment and satisfaction of helping others, improving and improve understanding between cultures and ensuring intergenerational workforce operates smoothly, accomplish personal KPI to remain relevant. So there are many benefits for the mentors as well. Okay, this is the last section on the student tracking system, which practically is the system in which each and every student is tracked by the medical education unit to see their progress, and this progress is given to the mentors for each after each exam to see for them to know what their mentees are doing and how they can help them in the future. Okay. The student tracking system is effective mentoring is the key element for student success and increases the likelihood of eventual student career satisfaction. Students think that academic mentoring would be effective in supporting their academic performance and psychological needs. Continuous monitoring of the student progress in medical school is done by small group and on one-to-one mentoring through analyzing results of say mini-X and OSCEs and the student portfolio, etc., etc. This has been done in one way or another over the years. But what we do is that we have a specific program which I'm going to share with you. Aim is to help the students improve their academic performance, leading to graduation on time, which is a big issue here. The objectives will be to provide feedback to various students about their overall performance, which is macro, and performance of assessment components of specific discipline and the type of question, which is micro. So they don't even know only about their overall result, they will know about the details of the result in each and every component. They foresee any decline in performance of individual or group of students and to initiate the remedial action to assist exam board make evidence-based decision about students in borderline results, to update the parents and the guardians about performance of the awards and seek their intervention if needed, to monitor the academic performance of the different cohorts, comparing the performance of the same batch over time and the different batches of students for specific modules and courses. Okay, now what we start over here is this is the exam, just starting with the exam board, this information. This information is about the student performance in each and every component of the exam. So you will see that there are true false questions and the BAQs and the EMEQs, which made a specific part of the paper. Then the second part that there are SCQs, three SCQs and MEQs, and the third part is the OSCE. And then the two results are combined together, and then from there they are rounded up. And from then in the last column, you will see that this is the grade which the students will get. Now, if you concentrate, there is the one student who has scored 45 marks and I got admin. Number 12, student number 12. 45 marks is a borderline. That means that the student between 45 to 50 is considered as a borderline, and if the student secures 45, it is a borderline. Practically, the result over here is wrong. 45.06 is just 45. The student will get. Okay. So what to do with this thing? The exam board meeting has to decide whether they should let the student pass this module or should they stop the student to sit for the remedial examination. So what will they do? This is the macro result comparison, which was done by the medical education unit. I practically am personally involved in doing all these things. We have this template in which we have the name of the student, their BMD number, the institute from which they are coming, what is their qualification, what was their AGPA, that will tell us what the caliber of the student before also, and who is the mentor of the student. So all this information is in this template. If you see that there are some results which are given over here, from the hemopoietic and lymphoid to CVS to respiratory, endocrine, um, um, reproductive, renal, digestive, CNS, musculoskeletal, then personal professional development, then support. The students' marks are in the bars. This is the mark of this student, specific student. Remember that 45 mark student? The same student is over here. And the CNS result, the marks scored by the student is 45. And the line graph above, you will see, yeah, the what's there? The line bar is practically the average of the class at that. If you look at the result of this student, forget about this 45, you will see what? The student has secured 52 and 50 also, which is the borderline passing marks. And this is happening in those two modules in which the students, the overall average mark of the class is 71 and 63. Average of 71 means that most of the students are securing very, very high marks, and this student is getting only 50. And similarly, 63 marks is also very good marks, in which the student has more than So the student who has come with a GPA of 3.75 has declined somewhat in his or her performance in the university. So we have to find the reason of it, why this thing is happening. We have to guide the student before it is too late and the student has to sit for the professional examination. Okay. So how to find out what is happening to the student? This is the same report which I've shown you at the beginning. This is the result of the CNS which I have put over here, with the result of all the other previous modules which have happened in previously. The areas which have been highlighted are those in which the student was not able to score the 50% passing mark. In that question, in that component, and in that type of assessment, whether it is the written assessment or the the skill assessment. So you will see that in the true false type of question, we were using those questions at that time. Out of 18 marks, the student has secured only 5.8 marks, means the knowledge component of the student is not very strong. In SBA, there are two questions only, and the student has done both of them correct. While in EME, in extended matching question, again, the student has faltered. And in the process, she has failed part A. In part B, the student in SEQ number 2 was not performing well, and out of 5 marks had scored only 1 mark. In auspice, again, there are two auspices in which the student was not able to perform really well, and has scored, ultimately the overall score is 45.2. So now you have all the component breakup, you have all the results of the students previously, and all the components of the different results in a tabulated form, from which you can assess how the student was performing. If you look at, for example, see the part 2, the student has been struggling in the part 2, which is the written part of the question answers, the SQs and the LDTs. The student was struggling in writing the sentences also. And the student was struggling in the true false because of those modules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 modules. The student was not able to do them in the true false. So there is a problem, while the OSPI component is pretty good because the student has been doing well over. So with that, you are going to inform the student what are the weak areas, what are you going to do about them, and how this remedial will take place. You can arrange activities for that student with different roles. subject experts. Okay. This feedback by students is given regarding the conduct of the module or the posting and about the educational environment. This will give us the information of whether the students have been taught well, have been looked after well by the lecturers and the modules, in seminars, in problem solving sessions, in board works, for example, and others. This is the individualized result of a student for future planning. This is the student result in one of the modules. So in the second year, this will go along with that student, and we will follow that how the student. If you look at the student's result, again, the bars all are below the class end for all the modules, for all the uh, topics which are covered over there. This is the year one student. So all the topics which were covered, the cell and tissue and then function, and genetics and inflammation dynamics, all are given over there, the module numbers over there. So the student overall throughout the year has been performing below average. So you have to take care of the student in the next year. Similarly, in this, these are the at-risk students where the performance suddenly drops and they perform very bad. These students need a push-up, and they are uh, being marked as a red light for those students, and special mentoring is given for them, special actions are taken by the academic office to look after them. See that the class average is also like in these two modules. Okay. This is the excellent students, one of those sheet of this student. Again, we have the name and the BMD and the institute and the qualification. The GPA was good. And if you see, this is the year 3, year 4, and the year 5 results. The green one is year 3, the blue one is year 4, and year 5. And you will see that the student is continuously excelling throughout the year. So this is one of the students which will be was most probably going for the distinction viva. So we have to take care that her performance is boosted in the practically in Malaysia. Not much of the face-to-face discussion is done with the students during the examination. There are most of the components are between the paper and the student, and the model and the student and things like that. So students lack that confidence of verbally speaking, verbally telling, verbally informing the answer of the questions, which they might be knowing, but they're not able to express. So some sort of training is given to those students from the earlier stage to be able to express themselves while they are going for the distinction. Okay. Then is the mentoring groups are given. These three things are given to the mentor group. The first one is the specific result of the student. Not whole result will go to each mentor. A mentor will receive the result of only the mentees he or she is looking at. The personal profile of the students and the personal performance of that specific student that will go for each student, for each mentee student. The parent and the guardians feedback is required. So sometimes the results are shown to them, the results are given to them so that they know how they are to identify the modules and posting that need remedial steps. Again, this is the grand tracking of the feedback. So all the modules, how many students failed, how many got B, how many got C, how many got B. The bars are made and these are shown to the parents if they want to come and see what is happening for the students, how the students are performing. And to compare the result of different batches to watch the faculty development. Again, the performance of the students in different modules is being watched and being seen that how the students are performing for specific subject in the specific year and further. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much, everybody, for your attention. Now is the time for questions, if you have any. There was, I think, the first question which I got in the chat box is very, very interesting question. And can you hear me, please? Do you hear me?
Yes, sir, the sound is clear.
Right, okay. Now, there was an interesting question that whether mentoring can be done by AI machine. Very interesting point that so can we use machines for mentoring the students? I would like to hear your views about this question. Yes, Professor Aslam, please unmute yourself.
Prof, unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, sorry. You hear me now, please.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Malik. My question is two questions, very small and simple. You've said that mentors are the successful people in life and career. Can a failed person in life and career could be a mentor so that he narrates his unsuccessful story and to learn from his mistakes or disasters? That is one. And second is, can the mentor do more harm than doing good to the mentee? Sometime?
Yes, let's the first thing that whether so-called a failed person can be a mentor, then of course can be a mentor, but somehow you have to talk to the mentees that they should not have a negative impression of that person. If the mentees think that this person has failed himself and how he is going to help us, so that would be disaster. But you are absolutely right that we can turn it around and say, okay, this person has done something, he has tried, and he has not succeeded in that, and that detailed discussion on that can be helpful. So absolutely right, but we have to do some kind of maneuver.
So, I personally think that the person who has failed has more stories to tell to the mentees about how he failed and what he did to succeed later on. So that sort of a relationship in which you can tell the stories makes the session more lively, and the students can relate it to themselves. And I think
Right.
that
Right. Yeah. Thank you very much. Great.
Okay, now coming to the second point, yes, sometimes mentor can do more harm. Yes, we cannot deny that. That's why the training of mentor is important. And another point which Dr. Ruxana mentioned was very good, that the meeting among mentors.
Yes.
At let's say at different intervals, there is a meeting among the mentors and they share their experiences, and if they are having any issues, how to handle that.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, we organized that sort of meeting officially, Prof, for all the mentors after every 3 months. All the semester.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you indeed.
Yes, we have that still question that need to be answered whether AI and the machine can be act as a mentor. We'll see if somebody want to comment on that. Dr. Adnan Khalid, please unmute yourself.
Sir, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Malik, for such a comprehensive and elaborate presentation. And I am sure that each and every point of view can go into another presentation and such a detailed thing. Thank you so much for this. I have a question that regarding a mentor, how similar should be the background of the mentor and the mentee? For example, as a medical graduate, basically I'm a surgeon. So should I be mentoring students from the dentistry or say, for example, from the physical therapy, or should I only be concentrating on medical undergraduates? And then even in medical undergraduates, should I only be assigned or should I only be trying to get students from the clinical years or even from the basic years? So because basically a mentor is not only he's looking after the academic as well as non-academic. So the academic background should be similar or no? Is it good to have, is it okay for me to have me mentoring dental students from dentistry, or should I only be going for medical graduate and medical undergraduates or MBBS students? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Very, very important question. Now, mentoring has many different aspects, and academics is only one of them. So there are many other issues other than academic that a mentor can help the students. And overall, you would be able to help generally in academics as well, but if there is some specific, as a mentor, you can always ask for help. You can refer to a student to a particular lecturer or a situation. So I think when we say the matching, so-called matching of the mentor with the mentee, is we are not mainly talking about academics, we are also talking about other general factors, the personality, and in fact, we give a student an option that after some time, if they want to change their mentor, and if they have solid reason, they can change that. Basically, is that we trying to match the personalities rather than academics. And the software which has been mentioned would have, let's say, they would have characteristics, sort of a questionnaire which a mentor has to fill and the mentee has to fill, and there would be a kind of matching in that. So I'm sure you can definitely mentor students from other health-related fields, and if there is some specific, very specific academic issue, then you can always ask for help. But otherwise, overall, I'm sure you would be able to do that. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir, it does. Thank you so much.
Okay, yes, Professor Rashid, please.
Right. Thank you, sir. The presentation outlines explained very well the roles and responsibilities of the mentors and mentees. Sir, could you please elaborate in some detail that how the mentoring program will measure its overall effectiveness and success? That is, I mean that are there any specific metrics or feedback mechanisms planned to assess the impact of mentoring relationship in the long term?
I'm not sure, but I think there must be some studies on that. At the moment, I'm not sure about any such studies on the effectiveness of mentorship on the long term. I mean, looking at the positive side, I would think that it would have, but let's say Dr. Sana want to say.
Prof, we do take feedback from the students after each module, because the mentoring is done every week, So if the project runs for 7 weeks, for example, then after 7 weeks, we take the feedback from the students about the mentors. And the students give the feedback about their own colleagues, and they give the feedback about their performance as well. So technically speaking, we do collect a lot of data over there, and we analyze that data, that where we went wrong and what the students were expectations were there. But whether these all things will affect their long term after few years is yet to be seen, because for that you have to do a longitudinal study.
Yes, Dr. Aisha Abdullah, please.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Thank you very much for a very interesting and informative session. Dr. Osana, we're really grateful for that. I just wanted to respond to 3 questions that were asked earlier. One was regarding AI. Can AI be used for mentoring? And I think we did not have a good bit of discussion on that. It's very interesting. And I think AI can support us in mentoring, would not replace the mentor, but a lot of things can be outsourced to the AI. Then the other one was about people who have failed in their lives. Can they be mentors? The eligibility of a mentor. The mentors in a medical school or in dental school are faculty members. And all faculty members have got at least some kind of post-graduation. So everybody can have setbacks in life. We cannot say that people as a person have failed. So with regard to that, everybody is eligible for that mentoring, as long as they have one thing. And that one thing is the willingness and the willingness and the capacity to invest in another person and the development of the students. So even if a faculty member is a very high achieving faculty member, but they are not interested in the development of the student and make sacrifices on that path, then they should not be eligible for the mentoring program. With regard to MBBS and BDS, I think everybody can do mentoring. Only the career counseling bit would have to be given to the specific specialty in which the student is interested.
Thank you, Dr. Aisha, for those valuable comments. Now there is a question here by Yogesh. How to monitor mentor-mentee program? Can you answer that? How to monitor the mentor-mentee program?
Yeah, I think I've highlighted that in the flow chart of what will happen at which stage. The mentor-mentee coordinator will coordinate it with the other mentors, with the faculty members, with the subject specialists, and with the other support systems. For example, the counselors which are available for the financial and the people who are in the main office dealing with the money matters and all that. The person who is sick and is not performing well, how to tackle that. The medical conditions and all that. There's a flow of all these things, and at different places, the responsibility is taken by the next person to. For example, if the student is having a psychiatric problem, the mentor will refer that student to the counselor. The mentor will tell the counselor, the mentor coordinator, that this student has a problem. He's not a psychiatrist, he wouldn't really diagnose something like that. Then that person will be tackled by the department, the faculty, and the university faculty will look into it, and the student is referred to him or her. And if the student really has diagnosed with a problem, and he will be sent to the hospital, and all these processes have their guidelines and all their flowcharts.
Yeah, actually, if I might add to that, especially the question of monitoring the mentor-mentee program itself, and the same about the question that how feasible it is to have a weekly mentoring session. For weekly, I think it depends upon the institution. In our institution, the university is very, very keen on this program. So they have a fixed 1 hour session every Friday morning from, I think, 11 to 12 for mentoring across the institution. But obviously, every institution can decide their own. Maybe even once a month might be practical for some institutions. The second component of monitoring the mentor-mentee system itself, whether it's working or not, whether it's yielding the results it is supposed to be. I think the coordinator and the committee which is running this program, they would be monitoring the success. For example, whether the sessions are being conducted regularly. Is there any feedback by the mentees, whether there is any issue or any issues might be brought by the mentor to the committee. So there is direct or indirect monitoring system in place about this session. There's another question whether mentor session can be video recorded. I'm not sure about that because then everybody has to agree. I mean, if the group, every member in the group agrees, then it probably can be done. But when we say every member means every member. Even if one member does not agree to be video recorded, his or her opinion must be, respected. So, but if everybody in the session wants to video record, but there should be a purpose of video recording, why we are recording it and what actually we want to achieve out of that. Right.
Usually, Prof, if we go for the recording of the session, the problem will be that the students, many of the students discuss their personal issues over there. And they don't want that to be broadcast openly. But then, if it is done with the consent and it is shown only to the specific person only, there is no harm in that.
Okay.
It depends upon the why it is being done. Like we used to do the PBL sessions recorded to show to the different facilitators that where we went from in the PBL sessions, not the students. That was for the facilitators. But things were done wrong by this facilitator over there. But then he was playing his role properly. So if there is an academic purpose of it, if I as a mentor know something, the mentors might also be able to.
Right. Okay. Noreen Mirza, please. Can you unmute yourself? Yes, please.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Malik. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. A wonderful session, I must say, and very, very near to my heart because I've been doing this activity at Princess Noora University, Riyadh. I introduced the mentoring program and the mentor training program as well. The question is whether to record. My concern is only that there is a lot of, there would be a lot of ethical issues there. So I will agree with what Dr. Oksana also said, but I think a proper written guideline needs to be there as to why and how and when it will be used in the later parts. My personal experience says writing down or documenting certain aspects of that session would be more useful than actually videotaping it, which could lead to some other problems also. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that excellent view. Yeah. Any other question? Dr. Adnan Khalid, you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Basically, I have two comments, one on the program evaluation and the other on this video recording. Coming to the video recording first, there are lots of pros and cons. One of the pros is that it is a very good medium for the feedback of the self-feedback for the mentor, that how well he was able to conduct the session. he can learn from that. But the other thing is that once you start recording, and the recording has to be known and public. So public means the mentees, they know that they are being recorded. So they may not come out with certain information that they would come out with if they are feeling comfortable. And then how we use that video recording later on, where does it go in the record, how is the confidentiality, etc. So these are the issues which are, and then it has to be, as Dr. Aisha said, it has to be in the policy guidelines or a policy written methodology. How is it? It should not be group to group variation. It has to be at the institution policy. As far as this program evaluation is concerned, any program, the program needs to be evaluated. So one way of evaluating a program is to compare it with another institution where the program is not being run in a structured format. And we see the, like, for example, the burnout or the track them and etc. So one of the, or other, we can similarly compare from the same institution where it's going to be a long-term process. Like, for example, once the same institution were not running this program, and then after they started running this program, so what were the eventual outcomes and impact, the long-term impact or the outcomes of this program? So we can have these CIPP models and logic models and, other, even the Kirkpatrick models that we use for program evaluations. But I think this is a very important question, that the logic of mentor-mentee program to be beneficial is extremely, it's very logical. But is there evidence which is robust enough to be presented as evidence? So that is something that sometimes we have very logical programs, but where is the evidence for that? So so this is a good question. I do not know the answer to this, how well it should be evaluated, but it needs to be evaluated. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for very valuable comments. I think all of us should be looking for studies conducted on this aspect, which you have. Unfortunately, I'm not aware of any such study at this moment, but I think I should look into that. And I think the other, you raised a very important point, that during recording, the students may not be open, and they may not say what they actually want to say. Thank you for that. Yes, Abraham Hussain, please unmute yourself.
Thank you very much for such a nice presentation. My question is how you cope up with the deficiency of these mentors, because but I feel there are so many students, and as far as mentors are concerned, they are few in numbers. How you cope up with their deficiency?
Right, so that's again a very practical question. Now, in some institution, what we have been doing is that the mentoring was more vigorous for year 1 and year 3 students. Year 1 because they are coming new in the medical school, and year 3 because they are starting a new phase, which is a clinical phase. And in other years, it was sort of more selective mentoring rather than for everybody, because the resources were not enough. So you are absolutely right. If, let's say, if everybody has so many mentees, it loses its own purpose. So we have to look at our resources and use them appropriately. So that's what we in one of the institution was done, that the year 1 and year 3 were really very vigorously done, and other years based on the students' previous records, the help was provided. Right.
Thank you.
Dr. Aisha Abdullah, please.
Sir, my hand refuses to go down. That's it up.
Okay. Dr. Ahmad Vishwani, please. Yes, Dr. Ahmad Vishwani, please. Unmute yourself. Now, I think Dr. Ahmad Mishwani, can you hear me? I think some issue there, right? Okay. Yeah. Any other question? Dr. Noreen, you want to say something? Noreen Mirza?
Yes, Doctor. Thank you so much. I was just wanting to respond to the question raised about the unwilling faculty members or the training of the mentors. So I want to share a humble effort from my side, whereby I designed this program for mentor training, and it was really very motivating in the sense that they were not paid anything extra for that. Obviously, we could not do that. But what we designed was that they were called mentors. They were given a special badge, and there was this special training program for them, which initially, I will agree that some of them resisted a bit or didn't like very much. But then the skills that they learned in those sessions to be an effective mentor actually helped them be better teachers also. For example, how to be a good listener, how to question, how to give better feedback, and so many other aspects of the training program, of the mentor training program that I designed and conducted. And it was an ongoing program. And we addressed the current issues also, and it was a structured program as well. Both ways, we were addressing the need-based issues as well in those training programs for the mentors. So I think that something like this would be very, very useful. And I agree that the level of mentors can change from year 1 to year 3 when they enter the clinical years, and in the year 5, like I already shared, if anyone, like I already shared, if anyone is interested, kindly, I've left my email, and if you could kindly write to me, I'll send you the link of the study that was published in the Annals of Medicine and Surgery to 2019, and that was the outgoing class, 5th year, and we had a special mentoring program for them, and how successful or what were the results of that. So most definitely, it's a whole process which really helps, and people do get interested if they feel that they are professionally growing as a mentor and as a teacher. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you very much, Dr. Noreen. I think we are coming towards the end of the session. We will be sharing the video recording of this session in due course of time. However, in the meantime, all our WhatsApp group would be active. We can still continue our discussion and question answer sessions on our WhatsApp groups as well. Once again, I thank everybody for your interest in this, and hopefully each one of us has benefit to some extent from this activity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I was muted, so I unmuted myself.
Oh, okay.
And,
Yes, please, Dr. Ahmad Mishwani, please. Yes.
Thank you, sir. I was just sharing one point that most of the time we listen to our seniors that they quote to they appoint someone as my mentor, even the senior most professors. So I think this mentoring program or this mentoring was there since ages, but it was not formal, and it was probably the people who were doing it, but these were not they were not formally trained. Now, recently, in the recent past, as you know, there is a trend of medical education, and most of the institutions have these faculty members who are educated, and they are having CHP or masters in health profession education. So there is, I think, a trend people are doing it, and we have also started over the past 2-3 years in our institution in Gandhar University and Kabir Medical College, and it is very fruitful and very productive. The communication gap between the students and the teachers and the institution is, I think, that is no more there, and many problems come forward. The students share, and it does improve the, I think, overall academic as well as the social well-being of the students also. The other point which I wanted to share was in one of the slides, the basics and the administrative, academic, and research point was highlighted. But as we all know, since I think the onset, the clinical people are now involved in the modular and integrated systems. They have their clinical commitment also. That I think that should also be included in that one slide. And naturally, the most important thing is availability of the mentor. If he can give proper time and attention to the students, only those mentors should be, I think, involved in this. And another very important point, keeping root, because this is your program is being shared with all over the world, people of different background and different social setups. I think as the different mentor programs which are face-to-face, one-to-one in groups and different varieties in the campus, off the campus. So I think off the campus when there is one-to-one, and one point was the relationship, informal relationship, whether profession, it should, rather it must be limited to professional. But the social consideration should also be, I think, kept in mind. And there should always be, at the institution level, some SOP and there are always regulations, but this point should also be kept in mind. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me the time.
Thank you very much, sir, for your input. May I request, actually, Dr. Noreen, yes, you have already shared the link for your paper, and please, maybe you can share in the WhatsApp group as well. For those who could not attend this session, they can see that link in the WhatsApp group. With that,
Sure,
I thank everybody,
Sure, Dr.
and
Malik.
we'll see you soon, inshallah, in the next webinar. Thank you very much, everybody.